What's up guys? Today we're tackling another episode of Taunt Origins. With literally everyone else out of the way, today we're starting... Alright, everybody makes mistakes. So yeah, I totally forgot Lucina, so before we tackled the ultimate characters, we're gonna talk about Lucina real quick. So first off is her up taunt, which is a 3D imagining of the pose that she strikes in her official art for Fire Emblem Awakening. This pose is also the source for her render that is used in Smash for 3DS and Wii U. Her side taunt has her sheath her sword while saying,
"I cannot lose."
This is probably Smash original, or perhaps it's a reference to Marth's side taunt, which is incredibly similar, and by extension is a reference to Lucina being Marth's clone. And lastly is down taunt, which has her put on a mask briefly before taking it off. This mask helps serve a major plot point in Fire Emblem Awakening, where Lucina first appears as a masked swordsman named Marth before revealing her true identity. And now that I've respected the queen that I forgot about last time, let's actually tackle Smash Ultimate's Taunt Origins, starting with fighter number 64, Inkling. Inkling's up taunt and down taunt both come from Splatoon and Splatoon 2. During multiplayer battles, there are signals that players can use to communicate with their teammates. Up taunt is based on the "come on" or "this way" signal, while down taunt is based on the "booyah" signal. Side taunt, however, seems to be Smash original, with the Inkling firing their weapon in a literal taunting manner. Following Inkling is the big boy space pirate, Ridley. Ridley's up taunt has him rapidly flap his wings while roaring, a simple reference to Ridley's ability to fly and previous portrayals of that. Side taunt has him spin around and end with a claw swipe, which is probably original to Smash. However, the pose Ridley hits at the end could potentially be derived from his render used for Smash Ultimate. It could also largely be a reference to Ridley's side special. Lastly is down taunt, which has Ridley stand upright and tall before hunching back over. In an interview prior to Smash Ultimate's release, Sakurai said that this taunt was one of his favorites as it showed just how big Ridley truly is. So I honestly don't think it is a huge stretch to say that this down taunt may actually be leaning into the Ridley is too big meme, as we can see that they were totally okay with referencing it in his reveal trailer. Next up is He-Man, Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series. Starting off is Simon's up taunt, where he holds the vampire killer above his head, which seems to be a Smash original, which is simply just meant to be an epic pose. It also could have been designed to parallel Richter's up taunt, which we'll talk about specifically in a minute. Side taunt resembles a pose that a very different Simon Belmont strikes in Castlevania Judgment, the series' very first fighting game. And down taunt has Simon whip the vampire killer on the ground, referencing the opening to Castlevania 1 and Super Castlevania 4, where he does the exact same thing. Now we'll talk about my personal favorite from Ultimate's base roster, King K. Rool. King K. Rool was given the same treatment as Bowser or Donkey Kong, where rather than being a strictly cartoony character, some of their taunts and sounds are based more on real-world animals. For example, K. Rool's up taunt. This has him snap his mouth multiple times, referencing the fact that he's designed around crocodiles. It's also very similar to a taunt that Bowser also has. Next up is side taunt, where he slaps his big ol' belly. This is meant to emphasize K. Rool's belly armor passive that he utilizes throughout most of his moveset, as well as in his counter. Funnily, this taunt actually activates K. Rool's super armor as well. And finally is down taunt, which has K. Rool stomp the ground. Personally, I think that both side and down taunts were inspired by Japanese sumo wrestling. Slapping your belly and stomping the ground are both things that are done in traditional sumo competitions. K. Rool's body shape probably reminded the Smash team of a sumo wrestler, and so they took that direction when it came to his taunts. Next up is the adorable Isabelle, who first debuted in Animal Crossing New Leaf. All three of her taunts come from emotes that exist in the Animal Crossing games. Up taunt is the greetings emote, side taunt is the delight emote, and the short dance she does for down taunt comes from the complete emotion in Happy Home Designer. Now from a dog we go to a cat, and we look at the wrestler cat Incineroar from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Up taunt has Incineroar point to the sky while his belt glows in a similar manner to his revenge counter move. Side taunt has Incineroar pound his chest and raise a fist, and down taunt has him kneel while holding his arms out. All of these mostly seem to be based on Incineroar's wrestler personality and the showmanship that goes along with it. I took a look through Incineroar's animations from Sun and Moon, and I didn't really see anything that I thought looked super similar, so I feel like it just being Smash Original is a pretty safe bet. And that finished up all of the uniquely numbered fighters in Smash Ultimate, but now we get to talk about the Echo Fighters who debuted in Ultimate. I'm going to present them in the order that they are on the character select screen, which means we'll start with Dark Samus. Dark Samus's first 2 taunts sort of just emphasize her evil Phazon monster personality. She floats up and spins around just like she does in her typical moveset, and she sort of glows with evil monster energy. Down taunt, however, could be an interesting reference. Dark Samus kneels on the ground and holds her arm cannon upward in a sort of ready position. While Samus strikes a similar pose in her taunt for melee, the kneeling part makes this most likely a reference to Metroid 2 Return of Samus for the Game Boy. Next we'll move on to the very first Echo Fighter revealed for Ultimate, which is Daisy. Daisy's up taunt is exactly her official Smash render, but both of these are probably based on original artwork that was made for Mario Tennis for the N64. It's just sort of been adjusted for modern day Daisy because that Daisy looks very different. Side taunt has her spin around and hold up a peace sign, which is Smash original, but it matches Daisy's personality perfectly. And down taunt has her place her hands on her hips. This comes from official artwork of Daisy that's been used in several places, including her Super Mario amiibo, but which first debuted in Mario Kart 7. Following that is Chrom. Like his daughter Lucina, Chrom's up taunt is a 3D pose based on his official art from Fire Emblem Awakening. For side taunt, he holds out his sword in a ready up pose. I couldn't really find any reference for this, so unless I get new information, I'm just going to label this one a Smash original. And lastly, Chrom's down taunt has him twirl his sword, and while the exact animation isn't the same, the style and energy definitely kinda match his victory animation from Fire Emblem Awakening. Ken is far more straightforward than most of the other characters on this list. Coming from another fighting game series with its own set of animations, the Smash team could pretty much just snag the ones from his games that they liked and remake them for Smash. His up taunt is the very epic Thumbs Up Ken, which references Ken's win pose from Street Fighter Alpha. It also happens to confirm any and all true and 100% real leaks. Side taunt is very much meant to match Ryu's, perhaps to emphasize the fact that Ken is Ryu's Echo Fighter, which was a point that they touched on very heavily during his introduction in the final Smash Ultimate Direct. And lastly is down taunt, which is one of Ken's taunts from Street Fighter 4, as well as his intro at the start of a brand new match. And last but not least is Richter, who debuted in Castlevania Rondo of Blood, also known as Castlevania Dracula X. Richter's up taunt is a direct recreation of Richter's pose from Rondo of Blood's box art. His side taunt is based on art that can be found in the official Rondo of Blood guidebook. And lastly is his down taunt, which is based on a cutscene found in Rondo of Blood. And that does it for Ultimate's roster. And I actually got everyone this time. We of course still have the DLC to tackle, which will be what we do next time. The DLC really has another level of detail compared to base roster, so it will be fun to see what references are put into those characters. That's it for this time though. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, and I hope you have an awesome day.
というところだと思います。